you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Look, whenever a man texts me and says, I hope you have a good day, I hope you have a good week, I hope that you shut the fuck up.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Yo, welcome. Thank you. Late night Scante stream. Bill Haney on the Boxing Voice right now. Matom, that was earlier. Nightmare. Thank you, Nightmare. Send me the clips. I'm going to try to play them. Look, man, fools out here really trying to save face, really being reckless, you know, and that's what I'm here for. We're here for it. Got to break it down, talk some boxing. Late night stream. I wasn't even gonna do it, man, but you know, I was talking some boxing with some boxing heads, and things get a little spicy. We're talking about Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford, right? I'm seeing all the backlash Gervonta Davis is getting for Lamont Roach, and there seems to be a crowd that is for it. They want to see. They think Tank Davis is the face of boxing. I want to know what you guys think. All right. You know, what up, John Doe? Yes. Late night boxing stream. Like I said, fantasy fight, Champ versus Chump, Canelo versus Tank Davis. Changed my mind. Tell me, is Tank Davis the next face of boxing? Is this what we're really talking about? This is what the face of boxing does? You know, people were disrespecting Canelo Alvarez. We're talking about Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. What do you guys think? Is that a good matchup? Is Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford a great matchup? Is that a matchup that you guys want to see? Let me know in the chat. Is that something that we'll be excited for next year? Look, man, Canelo has a lot of things going on. You know, he could fight the winner of Better Be a B-Ball. He wants a big payday versus from Turkey Ali. We know Turkey Ali is Terrence Crawford's sugar daddy. But a lot of disrespect from for Canelo Alvarez. But Nightmare gave me some I can only, let me see if you guys can hear the visuals. I wasn't able to download the clip and put it on, but let me know if you guys can hear the visual. Well, I'll play it if it, you know, has more heads get in. But yeah, Muck, salute. So I'm gonna cook for a little bit, then I'm gonna drop the link. Let me know what you guys think, man. Is Gervonta Davis comparable to Canelo Alvarez? Is that what we're going to let people tell us? Is Terrence Crawford have a chance at beating Canelo Alvarez? I mean, from what I'm hearing, man, a lot of boxing heads, these people claim to be boxing heads, and they said that Canelo Alvarez is ducking Terrence Crawford. I could not believe my mind. I could not believe what I'm hearing. The disrespect. The absolute disrespect of Canelo Alvarez. And if you defend Canelo Alvarez, you'll be called a fanboy, right? But I'm a fan of boxing, right? We have the big fight next week. We have Better Be a B-Ball. Right now, John Doe, he's not comparable at all, and Canelo destroys Crawford. Of course. I mean, I want to see it. You know, some people, they want to see the fight. I don't mind. I don't mind seeing it. But the disrespect of Canelo Alvarez, to say that he's ducking Terrence Bud Crawford. You know, they think he's super Bud. They even compare Gervonta Davis to him. That's why we're doing the stream, man. Let's talk some boxing. Let's talk some real, actual, factual boxing. People get really emotional and really in their feelings. I had this mope earlier He was convinced that Canelo Alvarez was ducking Terrence Crawford. And you know what? If Gervonta Davis was at 140, they would probably say that Canelo Alvarez was ducking Gervonta Davis. And look, I know where it's coming from. I know what it is. I don't even need to say it. You already know who these people are, right? We make jokes here, right? We have a little fun. I don't get sensitive about it. I don't get in my feelings, as they say. But I mean, I do have feelings. But this is the crowd. This is the Bud Beats Canelo crowd. This was the man that I was talking to. He was absolutely convinced that I've heard it before too. Yeah, Bill was barely on the boxing voice barely an hour ago. He making Haney look bad even more. Yeah, I'm gonna play the audio then. I guess this is a big thing. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Give me 1 second.
Jake Paul can do the unthinkable and fight Mike Tyson. Why Devin can't just go ahead and fight Jake Paul after? That the face, if you'd say that Devin ain't the face of boxing, is Jake Paul.
Did you guys hear that? If you look at the screen, look at my screen. This is the people that say it. The man Bill Haney has to be smoking crack. I'm convinced now Bill's the reason fans don't like Haney. Look, man, Devin Haney is not as good as you think he is. Did you guys hear the audio? Put a 1 if you like it. Look, man, they need to give it up. I mean, I did the stream and about Devin Haney, and most people think it's weak that he's filing a lawsuit. Yeah, thank you, Mexican Boxing #1. Okay, cool. Good shit, man. Thank you guys for joining the late night Friday Scante stream. Haney versus Jake Paul. Jake Paul probably don't want to fight Davina Hanke. Look, man, you know, Devin Haney was the next Mayweather at one point in history, and one point in boxing history. But they need to give it up. They need to absolutely give it up. Royal Ricardo, Crawford is an overrated hype job, overstayed at welter for 6 years to avoid the 154 killers, Charlo Castana, Lara, and never looked in Gigi's direction. That's what I asked these guys. I called the guy a bozo. The bozo that I was arguing with. I said, look, man, Triple G would punch a hole in Crawford. Let me ask you this. Would Crawford even beat Caleb Plant? I don't think Crawford could even beat Caleb Plant. Do I need to give Crawford those flowers? No. Here's why. Because you got these characters. If you look at the thumbnail, there's a certain crowd. I mean, if you look at the screen, Bill Haney is biting Oscar De La Hoya style. Not even close, bro. Bill Haney is from the jive school. You know, clown ass turkey. You know, he's from the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy is it's street, you know, that's my name. You know how it go, man. We got it on lock, boy. You already know, man. But then all of a sudden they turn rata, man. What part of the game is that? Since when did we start telling and pointing fingers? It's like a lady was on a podcast I was listening to. She's a writer. She goes by Gail. I forget her name. She made a good point. She said that she worked for an attorney. Check out D-Style Boxing, was on that podcast. Like I said, man, I stayed my ears to the streets. And she said that they really don't have a case. You know, a judge is probably going to throw it out and laugh at him and say, hey, you get paid to fight for a living. If you want your get back, go get it back in blood. Not that the judge would say that, but that, you know, it's useless and baseless. Pretty much, because when you sign up to fight, that's what you sign up for. Terrence Crawford looked human as fuck at 154. Amok says, I thought Crawford had a draw against Mad Rim Job. No way Crawford beats Canelo. I don't think he lasts 12 rounds. All facts. I said, dude, in this chat, I said, am I in the Twilight Zone? because I'm in the crowd. If you know, I'm in. This is the space, the crowd that I was in. Right? They started trying to say pull up, and you don't know shit about boxing, man. It's a sweet science. Because I said, is it me or am I in the Twilight Zone? Imagine Crawford was lucky to get a split decision. He had Turkey Sugar Daddy in his back pocket, and he still was lucky to get a 1-point win. In terms of boxing, right? A 1-round win. Real Ricardo, thank you. Salute. Hit the like. Gonna drop the link a little bit later. Just want to cook for a little bit. Thank you for dropping in. You know, Scante hours, late night stream. Plant Munguia, Berlanga, Gigi, and even Danny Jacobs all beat Crawford. He doesn't have a chance. If he thought he could do it, he would have did it. What up, Sobers? Thank you. Haney, tell your dad to stop. Look, man. Okay, here's what it is. They realize it's the end. They have maybe one more fight payday, and so they're going to try to do their best to stay in the news before it's over, because I think they pretty much know, and they know, bro. They know. You know, people know when it's over. Crawford got the W because Turkey won the Canelo versus Crawford. Yeah, they still do. But a fight's a fight, man. You know what? And these clowns, this guy got all butthurt because I said, you know, Crawford, he's good. Look, man, I mean, if I'm talking shit, it's just because I'm, you know, kind of putting in, you know, getting one over on these characters. You know what I'm saying? But look, he's talented. He has the skills, you know, but he's not really interested in fighting. You know, he's had one fight in about 2 years. He's not interested in fighting. And these guys will sit with a straight face and say that Crawford, Canelo doesn't want to fight Crawford. By them suing Ryan and Golden Boy, they know the rematch isn't happening. Well, you know what? Now, from Ryan's perspective, it's more like, why would Ryan want to fight him now? I mean, if they already sabotaged him and they kind of already, you know, assassinated his character, that he's a cheater, there's really no point in fighting anymore. The only way the fight would have happened would have been they did an immediate rematch. Like, okay, you know what? You're suspended. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to get my rep back. I'm going to get right back in the ring. I'm going to get a fight in. And then as soon as you get off your suspension, we're going to fight. Get Ryan at his weakest, right? Ryan is not really interested in fighting. He didn't even really train hard against Haney. So that really would have been the best move. But this tells you all that you need to know, that they don't believe in themselves anymore. They don't believe in the career. Haney and his team beefing with all the promoters. Yeah, it's over, man. It's over. It's over for the Haneys. This is what people do when they know that their cards have been exposed, right? You know, it's like catching somebody doing something wrong, right? They have two ways to go about it, right? You catch somebody stealing from work, or you catch somebody like stealing from you, or, you know, somebody does you wrong and you catch them. They have two ways. They can go out on their shield, go out batting, be like, fuck it, you caught me, you know what? Let's just go for it. Like, kick my ass or whatever. Or they go away quietly. They just leave and be like, okay, you know what? You got me. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and I'm out. Okay, that's fair. So when someone sits there and cries, goes on the Boxing Voice, I guess. Shout out Boxing Voice. Shout out that guy Ness. But I can't even listen to him. Shout out, you guys send me the clips, but I really can't listen to those type of places, man, because I already know what I'm gonna get. These people are favorable to Devin Haney in that bullshit. Like, literally, I could not sit there with my mind and listen to Bill Haney give me jive bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a bullshit detector. That's one thing that I feel like is good and bad. I can't sit and listen to crap. I just can't. You know, people talk about these places like LDBC or narrative channels, and then I go, okay, that's cool. You know, they're doing their thing, but, you know, I don't really focus on it because All I have to do, someone mentioned that those clowns, H Monkey, and I said I was booted there, and it's like I already knew as soon as I jumped in, I heard the conversation, and I said, man, I can't listen to it. Same with those guys. I can't listen to them. I hear the callers. Oh man, Canelo ducking, man. It's a sweet science, man. Madrimov. Oh man, he was an expert. He would #1 pound for pound. That's what this guy, this Mope said earlier. He was arguing that Canelo that Crawford is gonna knock out Canelo Alvarez. That was his pretty much his prediction. And what he said is that this is I'm telling you verbatim what he said. And I was just like, people were mad at me because I was interrupting them. But I said, man, I cannot listen to this stupidity. He said, hey man, Canelo ain't never faced nobody like Bud. We know Bud the most skilled. I'm serious. That's how he talked, man. I'm not even trying to make a joke. Bud got most skills. He more skilled. He more athletic. He gonna just punch him and punches and bunches. And I said, where was that versus Matrimov? Oh, well, that's different. Oh, that's different. He said, but Canelo ain't never faced nobody as skilled as Bud. I said, wait a minute. Hold up. You sound ignorant. You sound stupid. You're a clown. I said Triple G was #1 pound for pound when Canelo fought him. Beat him. No, we know Bud most skilled. I said, what do you mean most skilled? Better. He said, well, Bud #1 pound for pound. I said Triple G was #1 pound for pound at the time, and he punched like a mule. Biggest puncher in boxing. Canelo Alvarez moving up faces him 3 times. Oh well, he ain't more skilled than Crawford. Nah, you tripping, bro. You tripping. He ain't as skilled as Crawford. That's what do you mean? #1 pound for pound literally means the most skilled fighter on the planet. Canelo Alvarez, at one time in boxing history, was #1 pound for pound. People forget these things. Yes, Crawford holds that now, but one of the things we talk about is his resume. Very, very lackluster. Amok. The biased voice shadow ban me. Fuck that narrative channel. Exactly. Look, man, if people are doing their thing and they get numbers and they get super chats and they get all the love and support and people like it, that's the thing. People like it. And who am I to say that it's wrong or right? But my bullshit detector cannot allow me more than 5 minutes to listen to it, because I feel like they're trying to con me. They're trying to make me believe something that I know is not true. One of the first times I called into the Boxing Voice and spoke to Ness, this is before it was as big as it is now. I think they had maybe 50, 60 people at the time, and it was to talk about how awful and boring the Devin Haney fight was. I'll play the clip for you guys. And he said, oh, you don't know what you're watching. That's a sweet science, man. I said, this guy's not that good. He's undisputed. I told the guy, I said, he's not that good. He's going to be exposed. You can just see it. The way he fights in a scared manner. Oh, nah, man. Everybody here, we fuck with Devin Haney. So it's not about fucking with Devin Haney. It's about judging the fighters, judging the skills with what I see when I watch. And that's the crazy thing about this boxing shit. People will try to convince you that you don't know what you're seeing. Real Ricardo. Does Keyshawn, guts and glory, salute, thank you. Does Keyshawn lose to Lemos? I hope so. I mean, Lois beat the shit out of Richard Hitchison, but got robbed. Who knows? He probably gets robbed again. Real Ricardo. I used to be a big Crawford supporter until he fought Amir Khan. It was after that fight I noticed that he was carefully choosing known opponents who were injured and at a low risk in their career. Yes, this is common knowledge. People don't forget, Look, man, he's fought 4 times in 6 years now. He doesn't fight. And this is the cuck media that holds him as Superbud. Shout out IDFP, he coined that Superbud. Also, thoughts on O'Cracky Robinson. You know what? It's a shitty match. The first fight stunk because O'Cracky stinks the joint out. And if I watch it, I watch it. And Robinson is dirty as fuck too. Him and Shakira basically had a wrestling match when they fought. So, Robinson has had like 4 title shots. I mean, he's like top ranks, one of their favorite sons or something like that. Real Ricardo. Excuse me. When you ask what they mean most skills, their only response is that he can switch stances. Dude, they must have said that like 50 times. He most skilled. He most skilled. We know he got most skills. Canelo, he ain't got the skills that Crawford has. That's what do you mean? He was number one pound for pound. No, but that don't mean nothing. But in the next breath, they tell you, well, see, because Crawford, man, he number one. He number one, man. It's all bullshit, bro. Bullshit. Ness is part of the Haney team. Bill Haney said that, yeah, I think they go to dinner together. They're boys. TBV leans heavily towards Crips. Absolutely. Here, Frank Bay, we say it. I'm just going to call it like I see it. Birds of a feather flock together. Look, if you're going to cover boxing. But give everybody a voice, right? They're literally the boxing voice. Well, give everybody a voice. Contact Ryan, contact his dad. Let everybody have a voice. Don't make it so slanted or biased. But that's not the world we live in. And look, man, that's why we need to have our boxing voice or something similar, right? It'll be hard, man. I don't know. It's pretty. Our voice is not out there like that. For one reason or another. I heard the algorithm or that channels like ours don't get pushed or pumped. Their channels get pushed and pumped. No wonder Ness was one of the few defending Henny. Yeah, you can't defend it. Is the B? Yeah, that's an excellent observation, Ripper. Yes, it is the BET of boxing YouTube. Look, man. I mean, look, we can't pretend we don't know what the demographic in the crowd is. You know what I mean? There's not many spaces that voices like ours can go. Like I said, the first times that I think I went in their Discord. Salute Frank Bay, salute Pounds. Yes, the first time I went in the TBV Discord, I got kicked out because I said Gervonta Davis wasn't all that. I said, he's beatable. A lot of guys can beat him. And you know what? You can't say you can't say they don't fight each other. Who's they? I said the brothers. They don't fight each other. All these guys duck each other. Haney, Shakur, Boots Ennis, Crawford, Earl Spence and Crawford. For the most part, the top names, if they're in the same division, it's very rare that they come and fight each other. Oh, that's a no. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that a Mexican is the face of boxing. You can't say that the Mexican fan base is the backbone of the sport. And that's why I want to, that's why I said chump versus champ. Gervonta Davis is a chump. If these people will sit here and tell you that he's a face of boxing, they'll sit here and defend Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? And it really is a thing about it is about boxing, right? It sounds like a lot of gossip, right? Gervonta Davis pay-per-view numbers, Devin Haney suing. Like, who's doing this? What fighters are doing this? And it's American fighters, and particularly FBAs. The Navarretes, the Valdezes, the Venados, the Zapetas, the Ortizes, the Canelos. I mean, they just go fight. You don't see this from you know what? Tio's a Latino. He's kind of drama. But you don't really see this from other fighters. Lomachenko just went in there and fought. Salute the Eastern Europeans. They just go in there and fight. Exactly, Amok. But you have to be sensitive. You can't say it. I can let you guys say it because there's a lot of haters and sensitive people that will not like you calling out their BS. But it does amount to boxing. Because they want to have their champions out there. They want to say there's the most American champions, even though I think the Japanese have the most champions right now. Mexicans are second, I think. So the Japanese Americans have the most champions, and then the Mexicans are second, and then probably Eastern Europeans are next. But over on our side, man, we hear the names Haney, Shakur, Tank Davis, Canelo Alvarez, Boots Ennis, Terrence Crawford. As one time it was Wilder and Spence, the Charlos. But Most of the other boxing really doesn't get the coverage. You know, at one time it was Lomachenko, you know, Ryan Garcia. Tank Davis had to put a catchweight rehydration clause, rematch clause, tune up, plus a hit Meg Garcia camp, all for Ryan Garcia, right? So in a mythical matchup, man, who would win? Who would win, Tank Davis or Canelo Alvarez? Who do you guys think would win a matchup? Tank Davis and Canelo Alvarez. And just some stats, you know. Canelo Alvarez 61, 2-2. You look at the names: Triple G 3 times, Sergey Kovalev, Danny Jacobs, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley. Who else? Lara, Smith, Munguia, Charlo, Plant. Now, are you telling me Bud Crawford could beat any of those guys? Could Bud Crawford beat Danny Jacobs? Danny Jacobs was a big ass motherfucker, man. We don't even know if Crawford could beat Charlo. Look, how about this? Let's make it easy. Could Terrence Crawford beat Jaime Munguia? What do you guys think about that? Could Terrence Crawford beat Jaime Munguia? You know, somebody said that too. They said that Terrence Crawford would piece up Jaime Munguia and he would knock Berlanga out. I don't think call me crazy. I don't think Terrence Crawford could beat Berlanga. Berlanga goes up to 205 pounds on fight night. You're telling me little ass Terrence Crawford, even out Terrence Crawford could beat Berlanga? It's just the weight classes, right? Weight classes for a reason. The size. Berlanga would be damn near a heavyweight on fight night. I mean, is he gonna land a lucky punch against Berlanga? Now, obviously, the skills, yeah. They'll say, well, but he got the most skills. He'll move around the ring, yeah. But fuck, dude, you got to be able to take the punch. That's one of the things about weight classes is that, you know, even a Nui moving up, these fine guys, he got dropped by Neary. Neary's not as skilled as a Nui, not as good of a fighter, but it's just the size. You know, he got hit by a bigger guy. He's not the size of those guys, so it's a lot more dangerous. Does Bud Crawford? Who does Bud Crawford beat on that list? These guys will tell you that Bud Crawford would beat Triple G. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Crawford could have beat Mosley only. Yeah. But Mosley was a hell of a fighter though. At 147 in his prime, you know, Mosley went up to 154 too. I think. Well, he beat controversially Oscar De La Hoya, but I think he beat Mayorga and Fernando Vargas at one time at the higher weight classes. But who legitimately could Crawford beat? I mean, that's what I want to know. So, top 5 Crawford opponents. So somebody listed top 5 Crawford opponents: Gamboa, Indongo, Horn, Diaz / Khan, and Ricky Burns. Those are Terrence Crawford's best wins. Let that sink in. Gamboa, Indongo, Horn, Diaz Khan, Ricky Burns. I don't count Earl Spence. That was another argument, right? That was another argument is that Crawford beat Earl Spence. Earl Spence was a pound for pound fighter. You can't tell me him beating Earl Spence doesn't mean he's not a great fighter. I said, well, Canelo Alvarez beat a number 1 pound for pound fighter in Triple G. And these people said, listen to this, the Earl Spence win was better than Gennady Golovkin. The Earl Spence win was better than Gennady Golovkin. That's what these Bud beats Canelo people told me. I mean, look, Canelo is older. He's longer in the tooth. But, you know, you got to look at the stats too. I think it's because, you know, Canelo's not a big 168. Yes, he's the smaller man, but he's taking the punches. You know, tail of the tape. Well, Crawford's 36 now. Canelo's 34. They're both 5'8". I think Crawford would have the athletic, you know, the movement and the the reach. Royal Ricardo, 5'6" Gamboa began his career at 118 and had Crawford doing the stanky leg. Yeah, you know, look, man, I want to see the fight, but it's just crazy to think that people really think that Canelo's ducking him. I think that's where it gets lost. I don't know if that was the point they're trying to make. Was the argument, but my whole argument for Canelo Crawford was that, you know, we know what's in it for Crawford, right? Is the payday. Obviously, right? He has Turkey Daddy, and it's the payday. But for Canelo Alvarez, what's in it for Canelo Alvarez? That's where they lose me. I don't know what's in it for Canelo Alvarez, because it always has to be, anything in life is what's in it for me. You know, if any of you have ever worked a sales job, right? I have at one time in my life. Sup, Money Man Frank? Sup, Sarge? You know, I've worked a sales job. And one of the things you always have to, you know, if I'm trying to sell somebody, they're not thinking about helping me. Oh, let me help this guy out and buy his product. No. One of the things you learn in sales is you got to think of what's in it for me. So when you're talking to another man, what he's thinking is, what's in it for me? And one of the arguments that the brothers was trying to make, that the Superbud fans, they were saying, well, you know, Canelo's ducking because he's asking for 100 million. And an actually smart guy, with a smart fight fan, he was like, well, of course, there's nothing in it for him. I literally was arguing with even a Canelo fan. I don't know if they're cucks, but they were trying to tell me, no, Canelo's gonna get a lot of credit. I said, are you fucking kidding me? He's not gonna get no credit. There's nothing in it for him. There's literally nothing in it other than the money. So that's why he's asking for all the money, because he's not going to get any credit for Terrence Crawford. But these people swore up and down that Canelo would get credit, and we know he got no credit for Jermell Charlo. But I don't even care about Terrence Crawford. My argument is, look, if you're a real boxing fan, you wouldn't want to see it. Okay, how about this? If you're a boxing fan and you're a Terrence Crawford fan, I think you're being hypocritical in wanting this fight, because he has a lot of good fights in front of him. You know, an argument was made, I wasn't saying it, but it was a gentleman who was saying that, you know, Crawford has a long list of opponents. He has Virgil Ortiz, Tim Tszyu, Charlo, if he comes back. He has He has Madrimov, a rematch with Madrimov, Okachuk. I mean, 154 is stacked right now. He has at least 5-6 Boots Ennis. That's the fight that should have happened. But again, they won't fight each other. The guy got kicked out of the Boxing Boys Discord for that. So fuck them. I'm just saying it. Fuck them. They really are some hoes, man. You know, they're hella sensitive. It wasn't not the main host, but their crew, their crowd, they're very sensitive. They can't handle any pushback. Most of those guys are really, those channels. I don't know if it's just me and I get kicked out. But they're sensitive as fuck, man. Turkey seems more interested in Canelo fight than Crawford. Well, Turkey has he's not even, it's not about boxing with him. Boxing is a vehicle to promote, you know, Saudi Arabia and Riyadh season, right? As the term sports washing. So it's just they do golf, they do Formula One. So boxing is just another avenue for them to promote Riyadh season and you know, make their grow their Saudi Arabia as a vacation destination. They have something called a 2030 plan. Royal Ricardo says, if Canelo received a little to no credit for whooping the undisputed 154 Charlo, no serious person will think he'll receive credit for beating down Crawford. Exactly. And it's not even, you know, here's the thing in these arguments and these spaces and these chats and these YouTube streets and these boxing voices, and you know, these people go other places, so you talk boxing, but it's not about boxing with them. See, that's the thing, that's the dirty little secret, is that it's not about boxing. It's about proving something about culture or superiority, or, you know, who's the best, right? And boxing is mano a mano, right? It's really man versus man. That's the difference. what makes boxing the greatest sport on the planet is man versus man, culture versus culture, race versus race. We can't pretend that it's not. So when your guy, your Mexican beats the African American, it's like, damn, you know, he fucking won. He's the best boxer on the planet. He's the best fighter. The Mexican is the best fighter on the planet. And that pisses people off. Now when it's an American, if it's Bud Crawford, if it's Mike Tyson, if it's Sugar Ray Leonard, then it's fine. Oh yeah, he the best, man. He beat everybody, man. He got more skills. He beat everybody. He'll beat Canelo. He'll beat Chavez. They flat-footed, you know. They ain't got those skills, man. Look, I'm just telling the truth. I've been to these places. That's how they talk. That's their reasoning. That's their logic. So when Canelo is asked to fight Bud Crawford, Canelo says, I want 100 million. He really means it. He knows what they want to do. Saludos, que chingue. Exactly. I'm going to drop the link, but I'm just cooking. Look, all these guys, man, they want to be put back on top. They want to make it about them. But when it comes to the fights, the actual skills, Canelo's right up there. You know, Inouye's right up there. Usyk is right up there. You know, Terence Crawford has a chance to go undisputed. He has a chance against Sebastian Fundora. That's what the point I was trying to make. My ultimate point is, you as a Terence Crawford fan, you should not want a Canelo Alvarez fight because you know what it is. You know it's just chasing a payday, right? He doesn't really have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez logically. Just logically. It's literally logical to think, damn, man, this guy's facing heavyweights damn near, Berlangas, Munguias. Now forget their skill level. I mean, they're punching hard as fuck. He fought Triple G, so logically, Terence Crawford couldn't beat those guys. He's just too small. We're just talking about the size. The weight class is for a reason. There just are limits. We've seen it with the Inouye. You know, Canelo Alvarez probably reached his limit at 175. You know, so that's what it's chasing greatness when he goes up there. And even if he loses, we know, okay, you know what? It probably was too much. That's happened to a lot of boxers. You know, the only one who didn't was Floyd Mayweather. You know, there was an opportunity for Floyd Mayweather to fight Winky Wright or Gennady Golovkin, maybe at a catchweight, but it was just too much. And Floyd Mayweather said it. Floyd Mayweather said, you guys want me to fight Gennady Golovkin, but you guys don't understand there's weight classes for a reason. This is their GOAT. He said that. He knew there was a limit. And Terence Crawford is probably not even as good as Floyd Mayweather. The styles are different. We've seen Terence Crawford get pieced up by Madrimov. That was the other thing. I said, am I in the Twilight Zone? Did I not just see this guy go life and death with the guy with 11 fights? Now forget about, he had an amateur career. He was skilled. No, but he still had 11 fights. Where was the ring IQ? So it's just crazy to think, man. People really will try to con you. They were really, you know, that's what Devin Haney would have did. You know, and that's just what this little guy Gervonta Tank Davis has done. He's conned the public to making the thing he's the face of boxing. This is Gervonta's opponents: Ryan Garcia, Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz just lost, Leo Santa Cruz, Frank Martin. So you see, they give the accolades. Urogas Gamboa, they count Rolly Romero, Pedraza, Hector Garcia moved up in weight, Jose Cuellar, Hugo Reyes, Liam Walsh, and Cristobal Cruz. What is Tank Davis' best win? Tank Davis' best win is Ryan Garcia. Canelo isn't Crawford charity. He owes absolutely nothing. He deserves nothing. There's nothing in it for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo versus Crawford review numbers will be credited to Crawford, similar to Ryan versus Tank Frank Bay. I agree with you. That's an excellent point. I'll leave that up there. Yeah, I mean, even though he flopped against Madrimov, I think the pay-per-view would do good solely based on Canelo, but adding Terence Crawford and he did. I guess it did relatively well versus Spence, right? They reported 600,000. And like when Canelo Alvarez did 600,000, they try to say 400,000, right? But nobody, you notice they didn't do that with Crawford and Spence. They everybody went out of their way to overinflate those numbers, right? It's probably was maybe around the same thing that they try to say with Alvarez, maybe 300, 400,000. See, you're not gonna hear this anywhere else. I'm telling you. Not that I'm the best or I'm the most knowledgeable. I mean, there's way more knowledgeable people about boxing than me, but man, I really think I break it down in a way that maybe nobody else does. They can give you the ins and outs. I know how the other side thinks. I know how I think, and you know, I can give you the nuances. Pedraza, exactly. That's Tank Davis' best win, but Tank Davis does not have the accolades. He doesn't have the accolades. He doesn't. Tank Davis never been undisputed. He never got a title at 135. He's fighting Lamont Roach. How disrespectful is that to not only fans, to people who've earned it, like Canelo Alvarez, right? Canelo Alvarez has earned it, earned the right to pick, earned the right to choose his opponents. And they sit here and try to con us, tell us these guys are great. You know, they almost got away with it with Devin Haney. They tried to say Devin Haney was damn near a Floyd Mayweather, face of boxing, undisputed. You know, these real wild things. But one of the things that I do, that we do, we see through it. We see how they try to fool the public. What's the ultimate goal? You know, you would think, man, if you're gonna be a fan of anybody, you would be a fan of Canelo Alvarez, and you would give him his props because he's earned it. He's proved it. I dropped the link, hit the like. You know, he's done the most in the sport, and I'm not trying to make it. See, that's the crazy thing. I never try to make it about Canelo Alvarez. I really don't. Now, does he bring the numbers? Yes. Ryan Garcia brings the numbers. You know, as far as what people want to watch and listen to. Amok says Gervonta's best win is a compromised Ryan. True. Pedraza. Yeah, Pedraza's been washed. I mean, he was okay. Frank Martin, who should have lost to Artem, yep. And a gift decision against an unknown experienced Isaac Cruz, who just lost. They're decent wins, but I mean, they're not championship caliber. Otherwise, Gervonta would have had the belts. Now, belts don't always mean everything, but those are the accomplishments, right? Those are the rankings, and that's something I try to explain when we were arguing about Crawford and Canelo. That Canelo Alvarez gets nothing for beating Terrence Crawford. And I said, you know, a better fight would probably be like Christian and Billy. Christian and Billy would probably be a better fight for Canelo Alvarez. He's in his division. He's ranked number 1. And somebody literally said, no. Terrence Crawford would be, he'd get more. He would get more for Terrence Crawford. I said, what? You would like more money? Of course. But I'm talking about the sport of boxing. And they couldn't wrap their mind around what I meant when I was talking about the sport. I said, no, the sport and the actual rankings, belts, you know, title defenses, you know, things of that nature. Number 1 contenders, people in your division. Well, if they mentioned Jamal Charlo, well, what about Jamal Charlo? Yeah, but they were in the same weight class at one time. Jamal Charlo and Jamal had always been calling out Canelo. Pound said Canelo versus McCumbee is good. Oh shit, was that guy really on the roof like fighting cops, or was that fake news? So this is literally a fantasy fight. Tank Davis versus Canelo Alvarez. But in reality, man, you know, it's Chump versus Champ. One they call a champion, but he's not. He's literally not. He hasn't earned it. It's like, why are they so hell bent? And I'm talking about people, even people we talk to. You go to spaces, you go to YouTube channels, you listen to there's a writer, Dan Canobio or something like that. He's mainstream, right? He gets paid to cover the sport. He's at all the big events, and he really does a clip talking about how nobody wants to fight Gervonta. Sarge says Canelo apparently wants to retire in 2 years. Yeah, hit the like. Don't forget to hit the like. Hit the link one time. Late night cooking session. Not a lot going on, so we're just shooting the shit, talking some boxing. Best sport in the world. That's why you guys are here. Even in times like this, you guys want to talk some boxing. Hear the real. You're not gonna hear a bunch of nonsense and people arguing and man, Canelo ducking, man. Gervonta, he the face, man. He sold 300K pay-per-views. He next. No. At the end of the day, what has he done in the sport? You can't convince me that he's done anything. He just hasn't. And that's really what you talk boxing for. The reason you talk boxing is to see who the best is. As you can see in the thumbnail, Canelo Alvarez win against Edward Langer drew a gate of around 17 million and about 650,000 pay-per-views. And are these numbers important? Yeah. Rick Glazer, shout out Rick Glazer. Go like and follow him on Twitter. He's big on Twitter. He says these million pay-per-view buys for Gervonta Garcia are just social media rumors that have no substance. It was tracking at 600,000 late. They're hoping 800,000. Well, I thought that. Well, there's one where he talks about Hector Garcia where it did 73,000. So Gervonta, he averages about 200,000. He does decent, but nowhere near what Canelo Alvarez does. So people that are arguing that Stank Davis is the face of boxing, it's just bad faith. It's an agenda. They're trying to convince you that their guys are on top. But the reality is, what I say is, if you had all these fans that were Gervonta fans, why don't they support? That's a real question. Same with Bud Crawford. These guys arguing that he's excuse me, he's better than Canelo Alvarez. One thing I ask, where's the support? Same with David. If you see David in the thumbnail, where's the support? Where are all these fans, man? It's kind of sad. I wish they did sell. I wish Bud Crawford sold. I wish boxing was as big as it used to be. Maybe if HBO was still around, maybe we would get the big fights. There'd be more money involved. But I wonder where the support is. Now, I've heard it was due to piracy and streaming, which could be true. But the UK fans, they still support. Canelo Alvarez fans still support. I guess there's a big UFC card, and they're gonna have support. There's still fighters that get support, and Louis gets support. So where's all the American support for these the best, man? Terrence Crawford, Stank Davis, Davina Hanke didn't really sell well. It's hard to become a boxing star. Lomachenko, he was hype, but he didn't really become a star. His fight with Davina Hanke did okay, but nothing that was gonna break the bank. So, Oscar had found Ryan Garcia. Nobody believed he was gonna be a star because they didn't know if he was gonna be that good. But Ryan Garcia proved to be he's a proven star as far as boxing goes. But these guys, Gervonta, Shakir, they want him to be next. They tried to sell a pay-per-view with him and Cordina, right? Fell through. He got hurt. But they want to make these guys. They want to make the next Mayweather, the next star, and they can't. They keep failing because either A, they're not as good as you think they are, Earl Spence, Deontay Wilder, or B, they don't get no support. Davina Hanke was undisputed American, African American fighter, and they didn't buy his pay-per-view. They didn't. Like 35K against Regis. So I always wonder, man, all these people with these fandoms, online on social media, but when it comes to dollars and cents, they don't support. That's the crazy thing about Canelo Alvarez. At least his fans support him. So that's what always blows my mind, man, is that when it comes to the boxing world, man, there's not a lot of support, and they keep trying to make these new fighters, Abazaba Mason, maybe up next. Devin Haney trying to hold on to his career. Shakir Twitterson, hoping to get a big fight. Ryan Garcia, we don't know what he's doing next. So, Bud Crawford, his pay-per-view flop. So we really don't know what these guys are doing next. Are they going to do anything next? That's the thing, man. But when it comes to the conversations, you would think these guys are superstars. Ryan Garcia developed his social media and became a brand. Canelo is a major brand. Crawford is nowhere near a brand, and it's all his fault. Well, you know what, man? I mean, look, the excuses are that he was frozen out, he was dubbed, and this and that, and I might believe that if he would have consistently fought over the years, but he's had about 4 fights in 6 years. Whose fault is that? I mean, Anui being a superstar, he keeps fighting. He's gonna fight 3 times this year. Canelo Alvarez remains consistent. Even Tank Davis, I guess even he's fighting consistently. Maybe not the opponents that you want, but somewhat. But Crawford, same with Earl Spence. They just fought like once every 15 months. Same pathetic stats. 5 fights in 5 years, 4 fights in 6 years. You can't build a fan base like that. You can't build a sustainable business like that. It'd be like going to work once a week. You just go to work when I feel like it. Maybe once, 2 times a month, right? Imagine if you owned a business, right? You own a store and you open it up like 2 days a week, sometimes 3, but all week, every day, people come by your shop. It's closed. It's just closed. And then you sit there and say, man, what's going on? You got to remain open, man. You got to remain in the public eye. And unfortunately, in boxing, it's fighting. I know it's hard, right? Damn, it's a fight. But, you stay sharp. You fight good competition, and then you'll get the big fights. But it's really hard for people to get behind you if all you do is sit there and cry about how nobody wants to fight you, but then you're not fighting. But he did that for years, and now he's 37. Imagine if Canelo had did that. Just fought once a year, maybe once every 15 months. He wouldn't be as big as he is. I mean, the man has like 70 fights. That's one thing we'll probably never see again, is like the 70 fight thing. Hit the like. I dropped the link if anybody wants to hop on. Talk some boxing. Speak your mind. Is Crawford Canelo a real fight you want to see? Does he have a chance? Is Gervonta Davis comparable to Canelo Alvarez? Who would win in a fantasy fight? Do you like the Lamont Roach fight? And again, we've talked about these things, here and there. We're just talking talking boxing. You're talking about these things, but it's interesting when you talk to people who don't think like you. Raul Ricardo says it's not just about his fights. When Crawford would give an interview, he would come off as irritated. Sometimes he doesn't make himself. Yeah. He's like a diva, right? And he sues. He talks about Canelo. Out of Crawford's own mouth, he said Canelo is afraid of black fighters. He said that. Crawford had said that Canelo doesn't want to face black fighters. So when we talk about these things, it's not just us. He said it. And then suing Bob Arum for racism or for being racist. So, these guys bring it to the forefront as well. If I talk about it, it's only because I heard it or seen it somewhere. It's not like I'm pulling things out of thin air. But yeah. Nevertheless, no matter what, man, he's only fought 4 times in 6 years. Him and Earl Spence took about 4 years to make. And that's the crazy thing, man, is these guys, but they Crawford had said for years that it was other people's fault. It was Bob Arum. It was Earl Spence and the PBC. Now it's Canelo Alvarez, right? His career, it's Canelo Alvarez's fault that he's not fighting. If Canelo Alvarez fight him, then he'd fight. He's chasing legacy, right? How is that? How is he chasing legacy if legacy is right in front of him? He could have fought Boots Ennis, defended his undisputed. Instead, he chose David Avenesian, right? He has legacy. He can go after undisputed at 154. So he has legacy in front of him if it was about legacy. So it's not. It's obviously about a payday, but how is it it's everybody else's fault? That's the crazy thing, right? Somehow with this guy, it's everybody else's fault. After Madrimov, Turkey was trying to make Crawford Ortiz, which is a great fight, right? Young hungry lion versus older fighter chasing legacy. And he says no thanks, but no thanks. Literally before the fight, before him and Madrimal, Oscar and Turkey were talking, and Turkey said he wants Ortiz versus Crawford. And somehow that just goes over everybody's heads. Nobody cares, because the media gets behind him. They say, oh, well, he's great. He can do whatever he wants. He's like Canelo. He can pick and choose. How if his numbers don't match? That's the other thing. These guys, Gervonta, Haney, their numbers don't match for what people give them credit for. The numbers, strictly the numbers, the logical numbers, right? Pay-per-views, ticket sales, number of fights, accolades, they still don't compare. But yet they want and get all the credit. And then they won't give other people a chance. Haney wouldn't give Shakira a chance. He never, or for the undisputed. Right? Crawford won't give Boots Ennis a chance, another brother. You know what I'm saying? Janabek puts a beating at Bud at 160. Yeah, I think so. Just look, man, he's good for where he's at. Yeah, he's good. But even when 147 defend welterweight, there was a guy, Boots Ennis, who's pretty good. He won't fight him. So who is this guy gonna fight? Who does he want to fight? If it wasn't for his sugar daddy, where would this guy be? And again, it's almost like I'm beating a dead horse, right? Like I'm just crying about Greg Crawford. But it's crazy when you talk to people that tell you these things, that Canelo's ducking Terrence Bud Crawford. That Canelo's no longer the face of boxing. It's Tank Davis. Tank Davis is taking over. People are really out here saying these things, and they really have mainstream voices. They're journalists. They have large boxing platforms. That's what blows my mind. Shit, man, I'm just like smaller channel, got some views, got some likes, and I'm sitting here, and nowhere else I go do I hear these things. I mean, people argue about boxing, and Tio Fimo versus Devin Haney, and Haney versus Garcia, Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence, Bud Crawford versus Ennis. A lot of fantasy fights, but nobody really breaks it down and says why Bud Crawford has been so lackluster. Bud Crawford has blamed everybody else, but nobody will say that. Nobody will tell you that. Tank Davis had said at his own mouth that when he was with Mayweather, that he allowed Mayweather to pick his fights. He never asked to fight anybody. Mayweather had said out of his own mouth he was protecting Tank Davis. He said, leave Tanky alone. And somehow, some way, they get a pass. And that's what boggles my mind. So when I went to these places, even a place like the Boxing Voice, right? Go to their Discord, go to their chats. I say these things and they boot you. So it don't matter, man. You just hating. I said, damn, like, so you guys think Tank Davis is number 5 pound for pound, but I mean he's not even a champion. How is Haney and Tank Davis in the same weight class and they're both ranked number 5 and 6? Oh, well, they the best, man. I said, well, how are they undefeated and not fighting each other? You just hate, man. You don't know boxing. You don't understand. It's business, man. I said, wait a minute. So it is business or it's about boxing? Well, it's just business. You don't get it. That is what they'll tell you. You don't get it. I said, well, damn, man. I thought, that when you're in the same division, you're on top. Then you make the fight. But as I noticed more, it's like other people had to fight, are expected to fight the top, or they're not considered the best. But some fighters get this pass, get this magical pass, and they get the pass in all the fantasy fights, right? Tank Davis beats everybody in a fantasy matchup, right? He beats Loma, he beats Haney, he beats Shakur, he probably beats Cepeda. Bud Crawford beats everybody. He beats Boots Ennis, he beats Canelo, he beats Marvin Hagler, he beats Floyd Mayweather. Just like Floyd got the pass. Well, he didn't need to fight Paul Williams, he didn't need to fight Keith Thurman, he would have beat him. Same thing. I remember the same thing. They said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather. He just beats him. He's the best. In all these mythical matchups, he just beats everybody. He beats De La Hoya, a prime De La Hoya. You know, he beats prime Chavez. He beats a prime Duran. And they'll say the same thing about Bud Crawford. They'll say, oh, man, Bud Crawford, he'd have beat De La Hoya. He'd have beat Trinidad. He'd have beat... he wouldn't have beat Floyd Mayweather. You'll notice he wouldn't have beat Floyd Mayweather. But as long as if he doesn't fight Canelo and keeps the O and he just retires, they'll say he would have beat all the greats. You'll see. They'll say he'd have beat everybody. He didn't need to fight him. And that's kind of the trend in boxing that we see now. You know what I'm saying? And none of these guys, they never have to fight. And if Shakir probably comes back, they'll say the same thing about him. And they'll say the same thing about Haney. Watch. If Haney doesn't come back, they'll say, oh, well, you know what? It was Ryan cheated him, but he would have beat everybody. He'd have beat T.O. You know, he'd have beat Tank Davis. Yeah, 18th Street, of course, but it is the cuck media that allows them to get away with this. You know, I mean, look, man, that these guys got the backings of billionaires. You know, fucking warlords, and nobody bats an eye. Nobody, you know, they're allowed to do it. You know, they want to chase after Lomachenko. They want to go after him. Oh, now he's ducking. And you think it's a game, right? Until you actually talk boxing with these people. If they let you talk boxing, sometimes they'll just block you or boot you. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like one time. But you know, that's really what we got. And like I said, man, you don't really realize it until you speak boxing with other people and you see how other people think and the things that they say and kind of the logic they use. Like the craziest thing I heard today was that Crawford would have beat everybody. He beats Canelo, he beats Triple G, he beats Caleb Plant, he beats Munguia, he beats everybody. The only person they really wouldn't say he beat was David Benavidez. He beats Billy. He beats Pacheco. He beats Marvin Hagler. He beats everybody. Like, literally, Terrence Crawford walks on water. He's super bud. He beats everybody. Literally out in, you know, that's just how they think. I don't think there's really any logic in their brain. There's any reasoning. I think they're kind of just trying to throw shit. They try to throw you off in a boxing conversation, you know, and it really don't make any sense at all, you know. And they never really could explain how Crawford beats Triple G. Mexican boxing #1, we rule boxing facts. No, it's just a conversation too, man. The conversation gets crazy because you see the biasness and shit. You see the just total disrespect for the sport, for the champions of the sports, for the legends, Chavez, Duran, De La Hoya, now Canelo. You know, these guys, they don't have to be champions anymore. Devin Haney's can get on here and call themselves the face of boxing. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And the cuck media gives them a voice and a backbone. You know what I'm saying? And guys like me, you know, that don't really get to say anything because all they do is block you. You know, or you go in a space and you can't really say what you want to say because, you know, they start crying and, you know, yelling, saying it ain't fair, it's racist. I mean, that's what Terrence Crawford did with Bob Arum. All he had to do is, that's racist. Oh, you win. PBC don't want to, they block me. You win. Canelo don't want to fight me. I win. Yeah, Terrence Crawford wins. Canelo don't want to fight him. Devin Haney wins. Ryan Garcia cheated. Shakir Twitterson wins. Nobody wants to fight him. Tank Davis is the best. Nobody wants to fight him. That was my point, but they don't keep the same energy how Bud looked like Travis versus Madrimov. Exactly. That's what really opened my mind. I said, damn, dude, this is the Twilight Zone. This man got a split decision. Barely. I mean, that's literally by the nick. What is it? The skin on my chinny chin chin. Barely got a win. And now he's going to go up another 2 weight classes and face the best fighter on the planet in Canelo Alvarez. Like, look, fine, fuck it. But let's talk about it logically. Like, logically, dude, he couldn't even beat Triple G. Tank Davis is not a champion. So how can you talk boxing when people are spreading this news and propaganda? That's what I'm asking you guys. What I want you guys to think. You know, these guys get out here and they say all this bullshit, and you know, they have large platforms and they're able to spread, like, you know, we talk about narratives, you know, crazy ass shit, man. Crazy ass bullshit. Well, Ricardo, the worst was after Chavez beat Mildred Taylor. When Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas, all of a sudden people wanted to debate whether Chavez was the real #1 pound for pound. Wow, that's crazy. That was a big win for Chavez too. Like the best win. Yeah, that guy, basically Mildred Taylor, you know, my uncles, that was their favorite fights. And he was like probably what Terrence Crawford was today. Imagine if Crawford fought at prime light. Hey, look, man, and that's what I'm saying, man, but you can't really speak logic to these people. They will not hear you. They will not hear you. They can say and do whatever they want. And that sounds like a hater, right? Like, oh man, Frank Bay's mad. They can do whatever they want. And it's like, no, because it's still a sport. It's still a sport, and I can talk about the sport. You know, the numbers are the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. The belts are the belts. You know, the champions are the champions. And boxing is one of the unique sports that there's like 4 different champions, 5, 6 different champions. Like Tank Davis has a baby belt. He's not even a champion. Then he gets elevated, right? But you know what I do, man, is I come here and I tell you the conversations that I have and talking boxing, because that's what you're listening to me for, to talk boxing. I hear boxing talk, and you guys are mentioning other places, you know, H Monkey, the Boxing Voice. You know, me, I listen to BDA. You know, salute BDA, really good boxing channel. You know, they have boxing debates. It's the debate arena. You know, I drop the link, hit the like, and people can debate here, and we can talk boxing. But talking boxing is the sport, is the business. I broke it down before. You know who the best is, who are on top, and ultimately it's the fights. And ultimately, I do talk about the fights. But if you're looking at the screen, the fight Lomachenko versus Tank Davis, you know, you have to look at it from the sport perspective. Lomachenko's old. He's an older fighter. He gets robbed against Haney. And then they want to sacrifice him to Tank Davis. It'll be a sacrifice. He knows he's going to get robbed. He's selling his ass. He probably loses to Tank Davis. He's like, no, I'm not going to sell my ass. I already was robbed. And he believes twice. He thinks he beat Tio. He was injured, right? He took on a challenge. And Salute Teofimo took on a challenge. And that's the other thing. Like, I don't know if Haney or Tank wanted to fight Tio. They kind of isolated Tio, right? And yeah, he lost to Cambozo, but he still came back and became lineal champion again. Something Tank Davis is not. Something Shakira Twitterson is not. Something Haney wasn't in his new weight class. So talking strictly boxing, you know, Tank Davis waits for an older Lomachenko. You know, Terrence Crawford goes after a champion with 11 fights. These guys are not the best. They're not. And they don't sell. And their fans don't support. And this is the sport of boxing. These are the people that we're talking boxing with. These are authorities. These are people we listen to. That's why our voice, the chat, my voice is important. Because we break this shit down. Chavo was the best for a long time, not Mike Tyson or Pernell. Yeah, Mike Tyson got beat by a 99-1 odd guy, right? Pernell Whitaker's fights, they sucked. I mean, I'm sure he had decent fights. But, I mean, I watched it with my uncles, man. When he fought, they were pissed when he fought Chavez. And when he fought Oscar, he fought like a bitch. Mexican boxing #1. It was Chavez, then Oscar, then Manny, and then Floyd, and now Canelo. Yeah. And it was Oscar who made Floyd. And I don't really feel Floyd made Canelo. because it wasn't a fight to put Canelo over. He still had to do all the work on his own, become a champion, become undisputed, all the things we talk about. Like when people say you're a Canelo fanboy, it's like, no, bro, but he's undisputed. He has the accolade, the most champions, 70 fights, things like that. So of course you're going to use that. Yep, they're ungrateful. Exactly. If it wasn't for Oscar promoting him for 11 fights, yeah, I mean they had to build Canelo. He fought on undercards. He was working. He had to go the hard way. He had to work his way up. He wasn't highlighted like the top ranked guys like Abba Mason or Keyshawn or Shakir. He wasn't hyped like that. People think he was, but he wasn't. Mexican boxing, he won. Then Floyd would have been another Ward and Bud not known to the mainstream. I'm sorry, I kind of missed that one. Then Floyd would have been another Ward and Bud. Oh, if it wasn't for Canelo and Oscar. Okay, yeah. Of course, we know this, man. That's why we talk. Exactly, in Muscante hours. De La Hoya was literally Mayweather's promoter after he fought up until the Pacquiao fight. Yeah, he fought under using Golden Boy's promoter license. He never. They say promotions, but you have to have a license. And Oscar, as a veteran, and he had the best promotion at one time. HBO, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotion, was a legit heavyweight. They all have to face a Mexican to be big mainstream. Yeah, there's a look, man. There's a formula in boxing to become a star. There's a formula. That's how they build these guys. Top rank, right? They built a lot of top fighters. Manny Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Leonard. Bob Arum promoted Muhammad Ali. Don King was a heavy promoter. There's a formula to building a superstar, and one of those is facing a fighter with the fan base. Manny Pacquiao was built on the back of fighting Mexican fighters. That's a formula. Floyd Mayweather said it. I played the clip where he says, the best rivalry in sports is a African American and a Mexican. Floyd Mayweather built off the back of a Mexican fighter. Felix Trinidad, a Puerto Rican. They need a Mexican opponent. Puerto Ricans need opponents. Pound for pound fighters based off opinion. Absolutely. But the problem is when you have cuck media that's extremely slanted, when you have people that vote and then they're saying the reason they can vote Gervonta top 3 is because nobody wants to fight him. They give you that rationale. That's how they put Terrence Crawford up there. They say, well, nobody wanted to fight him. PBC isolated him. That's what they're telling you. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys is you can't let the cuck media fool you, and then you get YouTubers or you get Twitter people boxing people, and then they will run with these narratives because they can point to the cuck media. They can say, well, Gervonta is top 3. See, nobody wants to fight him. It's literally a propaganda machine, and they'll run with it. And it's fucked up because other fighters that are more deserving don't get the credit that they deserve. That, and it actually hurts the sport because you don't get the fights. Tank Davis doesn't need to fight the other champions because he already got the credit, right? Something my dad would tell me, right? I would say, hey dad, can I get some money? And he would tell me and say, well, do your chores. I said, okay, but I'll if you give me the money, then I'll do it. He goes, no, because I'm gonna be giving you credit and you haven't done the job yet. And then that's going to teach you that you can do that in life, that, I'll do it tomorrow, but just give me the credit, give me the A, give me the, he would tell me, and I was like that too. And I was like, yeah, I was trying to get over, and he would always bust me. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get over. I'm not going to do it. You're right. So he taught me that lesson, he see that he was hard, He was on top of shit, man. And he would see, he's like, because that's how people are. They want credit for not doing it. They don't, the thing about life is if you, the pride is in doing it. You should take pride in doing it, and then you get the credit. He said, but see, it's going to hurt you in the long run, right? Because you're going to get used to that. So you're going to start slacking. You're going to get careless. because you're gonna always expect that later on in life. You're gonna expect the credit, and you're gonna be like, "Well, I did it, yeah, but you did it half-assed," or you think you're gonna do it later. And that's what they keep telling us with Tank Davis. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna fight the big fights. You know, nobody's available. Nobody wants to fight him right now. Lomachenko ducked him. And I say, see, yeah, but see, you have fighters that are doing it. You have Lomachenko who already did it, and he's done. He's tired. He doesn't want to do it no more. You know, he probably gonna be tired. You have Canelo Alvarez still doing it. You have Inui doing it now. You have Usyk doing it. You know, you have guys doing it. You have guys fighting him, putting it all on the line. Undefeated Munguia, Berlanga. You know, you have Billy, Pacheco. You have guys putting it on the line. And then you have guys like Tank Davis and Shakira that want all the credit. And when you don't give it to them, they cry like many hoes, right? Oh, you guys don't know shit about boxing. Shakira just went on a rant about you don't know shit about boxing. And then someone put a cool ass funny tweet, said, "Oh, don't you pick Crawford over Canelo?" And he didn't say shit. So, you know, we're out there, man. There are real boxing fans. Mayweather said it himself that they're keeping everything in house. Yeah, he said, well, I played the clips, man. Mayweather made a career off you don't know shit about boxing, right? That it's currency over legacy. All the things you hear, man. All the things you hear. Hey, yo, salute never sobers. Thank you. You hear it to this day. They use the same tropes, the same catchphrases that Tank Davis uses to convince you that he's a face of boxing. They do the same thing. And they're going to continue to do it because they get the credit. That's what I'm telling you. It's like they get the credit without having done it. And then the people that have the credit, Canelo Alvarez, they tear down. They say, oh, well, he's not fighting the best. His numbers are slipping. You know, he's ducking Terrence Crawford. And again, man, you guys think I'm playing. Sometimes I think I'm making shit up or crazy. But then I have the conversations that I had like today, you know, invited to speak. And then I hear that. That's a good ass take, man. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Americans only have to pass the eye test. Yeah, you hear that all the time. Like Madrimal, right? Well, he passed the eye test. He's good, man. What do you mean he had 11 fights? Like, look, okay, yes, watching the fight, I know he's good. Does Shakir pass the eye test? If he passed the eye test, why is he fighting guys not on his level like Arvin Nuvian? And when he did finally fight somebody that passed the eye test, De Los Santos, he ran for his life. Like, you know who wouldn't pass? Let me ask you guys this: Did Pitbull pass the eye test? Just quick show of hands. Did Pitbull pass the eye test? Does El Rayo pass the eye test? Like, you know who would pass the eye test? Lomachenko, Teofimo. They pass the eye test. But like some guys that are like underrated. Like Pitbull really doesn't. He's not like flashy or one punch knockout power. You know what I'm saying? Matone really always cooking, man. So we keep everything in house. Mayweather Promotion, PBC, we're all one family. We're not gonna go nowhere and make another company great. He said that, but these guys, they overlooked that. Matone 509 says, see, so we got plenty of fighters at 140, 135, 130, and we'll continue to fight the fighters we gotta fight. Yeah. Floyd is a clown, man, right? He's always like trying to hustle, and he doesn't need to do that. He had a great career. You know what I'm saying? But then you have guys like Bill Haney come in and they try to say the same shit, right? And you got fans like this that stalk Canelo Alvarez, right? You know, then you got the Bud Beats Canelo crowd. And they're just constantly trying to fool you, you know? Trying to tell you what you don't know. Isn't that crazy, right? People try to tell you what you don't know. I don't know. If I say that Crawford shouldn't fight Canelo, then I don't know boxing. That's crazy, man. This is the crazy upside down boxing world we live in. We're talking about a man, 2 weight classes. I don't know boxing if I say Tank Davis is not a face of boxing. Yeah, exactly. People try to tell you what you don't know. But that doesn't make sense. If I'm sitting here giving you the numbers, giving you the facts, then obviously I know what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know everything about boxing. Obviously, nobody can. Can't cover every fight, every fighter. But you can know about the top fighters, who the best are in each division. You know, who are the quality matchups. You know, like we seen that Janabek fight. That fight stunk. I can't even believe they put that on TV. It was awful. It was awful. I mean, that guy had no business being in the ring with Janabek. I don't know, man. Maybe he banged somebody's wife or he has dirt on somebody, but that guy had no business. And you know, things like that hurt boxing, in my opinion. I mean, it was funny. I laughed. I was like, damn, that fool got knocked the fuck out. And Janabek was like playing with them. Like he literally knocked him out on his feet and then like took a step back and like threw his arms up and then like let him live. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was like, wow, this is fucked up. This is fucked up, man. So that's some of the shit you see in boxing. You're like, damn, like this shit is fucked up sometimes, man. And then with the best not fighting, we always say that the best aren't fighting the best. No. The best do fight the best. I mean, we are getting Usyk and Fury. We got Crawford, Spence. You know, Teofimo fought Josh Taylor. So we do, and then we don't. We do, and then we don't. We're getting better BFB. So we do and we don't. It sounds backwards, contradictory, but we do, right? 1 second. Yeah, on Andrade dug Janabek just to get beat the fuck up by Benavidez. and that's the crazy thing about the boxing community, right? There was a guy I used to listen to. You'll probably know who I'm talking about. He slept with Andrade at one point, I think. He knows his boxing. He's cool. But I mean, he probably literally slept with Andrade. You know, the whole Canelo ducked Andrade. Even after he got beat the fuck up, it was still Canelo ducked Andrade, right? So this is what we have in boxing, man. We have people like this. People with the straight face. Look, bro, we know you're showing favoritism, just like we seen with the TBV and them doing an interview with Haney. Look, we know you're playing favorites. That's something Frank Bay will never do. I'm gonna say it now. I don't even want to. Even if I wouldn't, I don't think I would want to do interviews with boxing people because why? Really, no point. I mean, if it blew things up, maybe, but I don't think I'm gonna show favoritism. I don't think I'm gonna, dry hump them, rub them off, figuratively speaking. Because, like I said, I have a bullshit detector. I have a bullshit meter. There's only so much I can tolerate. That's why I just decided to do my own thing. I can't really listen to some of the BS that I hear. People yelling in my ear, Canelo ducking Andrade, El Bato, when they yell at you, all corny and shit. De boxeo. Right? When they do these corny things, right? Just to get an interview, you're gonna lick his balls. Lick Andrade of all people, too. The guy literally fought nobody. Nobody. Bill Haney literally at the end of the Bill Haney literally said at the end of the interview that Ness is part of the Haney team working in the background. Well, shit, if I make enough, yeah. But damn, what about self-respect? And look, man, you got to give people credit. The people I'm talking about, they get the credit because they have large-ass platforms. They get the interviews and things like that. But to me, like I said, man, I have a bullshit detector, a bullshit beater. And there's only so much that I can take when I know somebody's bullshitting me. And what bullshitting is lack of integrity. You literally have to lack integrity if you're hyping up Demetrius Andre still to this day after he quit. To this day. To this day, there's still people riding with Deontay Wilder. They still said he cheated, that Fury cheated. They'll still say it to this day. To this day. So, people are gonna ride with Bill Haney. They're gonna ride with Andrade. But hey, man, if you want to put yourself in bed with these guys, hey, more power to you. But I think you lack integrity. And really, at the end of the day, if you talk boxing, all you really have is integrity. Your integrity is pretty much everything. Because after people see that you don't have integrity, that you'll flip-flop, that you'll side with whoever's on top, then, people will tune you out. They'll say, hey, man, this guy, he's kind of a phony. He's a fake. He's a phony. He ain't really a boxing fan. He's a fan of fighters. And he's just going to say he's just going to favor somebody, whoever gives him an interview or gives him access. Because they can deny you access. Like if I wanted to go to a fight and, you can apply to cover some of these fights and fighters. But if you don't talk favorably about them, if you don't say good things about them, then they'll just deny you. They'll say you can't go to the fight. And a lot of these motherfuckers will literally make 10-hour streams for like months to get like a free upper deck ticket and some chicken wings, some fucking chicken tenders, and a small soda. They'll sell their ass because they get pictures, they get press credentials, and these guys, they don't get shit. They gotta pay their own way. But man, I mean, they'll do it. They'll do it for a fucking like undercard fighter too. Not even like the main event. You hear people talking about their insiders. They're in the business, shit like this. They get the interview with like fucking, I don't know, whoever, some Ammo Williams or something. Or I don't know, just a mid-tier fighter, right? Not even a big name fighter, man. Like, that's cool, man. I mean, I guess you could get excited and cool, but me, I'd prefer to just talk boxing, analyze it, give you my opinion, and then, ultimately you guys make the decision. But, hit the like, if you like what you're hearing. Scante Stream. Royal Ricardo. Months ago, Coach Malachi blocked me. I was criticizing Crawford and Benavidez in the chat, and he calls me out during the stream saying that I was accusing him of hating Mexican. I BS you not. Hey, clip it for me, and I don't know, post it on my page or something like that. I want to see that if you have it, and clip it, because yeah, he has a large platform, and yeah, man, but they're very sensitive. They are. Like, I know what you mean. I think I got, for some way, somehow, I think I got booted from his channel too. Well, not booted, but I got blocked for like a few minutes because I was being critical, because I felt like he was pandering to Haney. I think that was the same thing too. I was like, man, this guy's fucking boring. He's a holder. Tiafimo had the better win. They were like, oh man, you don't understand boxing. There seems to be a trend here, man. Seems to be a trend, right? Hit the link, hit the like. But there seems to be a consistent trend here, is what I'm noticing, right? But I agree with you. Look, man, even these guys, they claim to be the good guy, or they're against this or they're against that, you'll notice that they're hella fucking sensitive. That's one thing I'm not sensitive. I don't give a fuck. You seen me, I let the chat go. I let people come on, say whatever they want. Talk shit about Canelo. I don't give a fuck. Talk shit about Mexican fighters. I don't give a fuck. Because you know what's different between me and them? Is that I'll always have the facts on my side. I'll always have something that is, with integrity, with substance. That's the word I was looking for. Substance. When you really uncover some of these people, you'll see there's no substance to what they say. It's like fast food. That's probably the best way to describe those people, the TBV or the ones that work with. It's fast food, guys. There's no substance. It's whatever the hot topic, wherever the wind blows, whatever's popular right now. Well, that's what we're gonna talk about, which is obviously smart. But we're going to side with this guy, and then if he loses, well, then we're gonna forget about him. Right? Even the people they interview, when they lose, they don't give a fuck about those people. Royal Ricardo, that's the thing. I never mentioned race in my criticism. He was looking for a reason to block me, and he pretty much accused me of calling him a racist. F that guy. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. All the that guy, the other guys, they get a lot of clout, and they have people from all races, and white, black, Mexican, Latino. They're very popular. A lot of people like it. And but like I said, man, I really can't listen to them either, because like I'm hearing it's like a fake ass laugh, like this fake ass laugh, and it's just like, bro, but my bullshit detector goes off. Just kind of feels like, microwave. If we're cooking here, I'm cooking. That's like microwave, right? Sound bites. How to make a sound bite, right? Do a fake ass laugh. Talk about Wakandans. Look, man, people prefer what they prefer, but if you prefer boxing, real boxing, the sport, the business, the best, who the best fighter is, the fights that we want to see, that's the shit that I talk about. That's the shit that I do. I do this, and then I let you guys speak. We chat it up. That's really what makes the show is chatting it up with you guys. Other than that, I really don't care to argue. Like I said, I used to argue, but now, like I said, like today, I was arguing about Canelo Crawford, and the one question I had is, what does Canelo gain from fighting Terrence Crawford? And nobody could answer. I'm gonna play it for you guys. Hopefully I can get the clip, and I'm a clip where I ask these bozos that question. Does Crawford even beat Triple G? There was no answer. You'll see they jive talk their way out of it, but there was no real critical thinking going on. There was no critical analysis, no breaking down. When we talk breaking down, you have to look at all the aspects. Their boxing analysis garbage. Breaking down a fight takes years of experience and true knowledge. Not too many can do it. No, I mean, that's factually true, because I mean, shit, I get predictions wrong all the time. I mean, it's very hard to predict fights. I mean, it's a fight. It's two ways, right? Like nobody predicted Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Tim Bradley literally said that if Tim Bradley literally said this, I got the clip, I'll put it up again, is that Tim Bradley said that if Ryan Garcia beats Devin Haney, then I might as well give up broadcasting, because then I don't know shit about boxing. He said that, but he didn't. He's a hypocrite. But you hear guys like Tim Bradley, right? Experts, so-called experts. Your boy, Coach. He calls himself Coach. Coach of what? This remember, there was a clown that used to come. He called himself Coach. These guys, for some reason, they call themselves Max, Coaches, the God, the King. Right? It's weird how they always put these like overinflated, ego-based names on themselves. Coach. Coach of what, motherfucker? Coach of Coach Frank. I'm coaching your hoe, right? I'm coaching your chick. Coaching her how to drop and make it hot. You know what I'm saying? How to do the how to twerk. I'm Coach Twerk. That's when I'm the coach of twerking. I coach her how to twerk, drop it, pick it up, bend it over one time. Just kidding, man. I'm a good guy. Man. I take him to dinner. I'm gonna buy her a cheeseburger, supersize it. I'm a nice guy, man. Give him a ride home. Call them in the morning, see how they're doing. Frank is a real dude. But yeah, you know what, man? A lot of what we do is talk shit. Like, I get that. We talk our shit, and that's fine. But truly breaking down the sweet science, the sweet science, man. But breaking down the fight, talking about who the best fighter is, that was one of the things too. I said, it's almost like they thought Canelo, like I said, they said Bud Crawford number one pound for pound. I said, so was Canelo. I mean, he's not now, but at one time he was. Triple G was number one pound for pound. He just wasn't a pound for pound fighter like Earl Spence. This guy literally said that Earl Spence and Triple G were the same fighter. And people agree with it. People didn't question it. Now, I think the homie was messing around. I think he was stirring the pot. I knew that, but other people didn't. And they really just bid on it. They were like, yeah, man, that's right, man. Earl Spence was a beast. Yeah, Triple G ain't shit. Now, and other people have the conversation, you know, Triple G beat Canelo. It's like, okay, whatever. It was a beautiful fights, man. If you ever want to watch some of the best fights you'll ever see, when we actually talk about boxing, Triple G, Canelo, hands down. Just brutal fights. I mean, that takes lifetimes out of you. You know, is Bivol and Better Biev going to be a Canelo, Alvarez and Triple G type of fight? I mean, that's like the highest level that you can go. You know, Terrence Crawford has never had one of those fights. I mean, he beat down a drunk pirate. It was a beat down. And Terrence Crawford, just the fight before, had exploding gloves. And then the fight after, he has exploding gloves. This man, Terrence Crawford's gloves literally exploded in the ring. Dude, what pound for pound fighter, what top level fighter's gloves explode? And nobody says anything. I mean, they still talk about Margarito's gloves to this day. And this motherfucker's gloves exploded in the ring and they didn't even stop the fight. They let it continue to go. It's almost like the glove was like finally like fucking hanging off his hand and he's gonna punch the guy with just his fist and then they finally stop it. But when it actually exploded, they didn't do shit. So the level of fuckery that goes on and is allowed to happen is insane. But people really look you dead ass and act like it's nothing. You mention the exploding gloves and they go, what? Ah, shut the bitch, you know what I'm talking about. Nah, that happens. Oh, so it happens twice? I mean, sometimes it makes you wonder, man. I mean, are we watching the same sport? Sometimes you gotta really ask yourself, are we watching the same sport that these people are watching? There's no way we're watching the same sport. There cannot be a universe where we're watching the same sport, because I clearly seen Madrimov kick the shit out of Terrence Crawford. I seen that. I see him piece him up with his right hand. Bah, bah. Just kept. He was like playing ping pong. He was playing ping pong with his head with the right hand. He like literally hit him like fucking 5 times in a row with the right hand. Just bah, bah. His head just going back. And then Terrence Crawford smiles at him. When they can't handle logically makes sense, then they turn the race card. Always. Every time. Without a doubt. I was like, wow, he's walking him down. Yeah, and he kept like jumping up and down, back and forth. And Terrence Crawford couldn't do shit. And when you bring that up, they go, well, that's skills, man. It's a chess match, man. No, he's not letting his hands go. I know what I'm watching. I seen that motherfucking fight, motherfucker. And they say, you getting emotional. I say, yeah, because you're like, I feel like I have to provide all the emotion because like I'm talking to a brain dead person, right? When you're talking to somebody slow or that maybe they're not getting it, you kind of like get more emotional, right? You're like, dude, you know what the fuck I'm saying? And they play stupid, so you get angrier. And the more they play stupid, you get angrier, but they blame you. All the fight. And Bud went backwards to the other side of the corner. I'm like, how the fuck is it called the sweet science? He looks uncomfortable. It was a chess match, man. It was a chess match. You don't get it. You don't know what you're watching. While Porter said he's winning and controlling the fight, what the fuck? Oh yeah, Porter was like, oh my god, people forgot about that. Holy shit. That's an old trick. A trainer can massage the padding of the glove and try to force it down. If you wrap the hands heavily around the knuckles can tear through the less padded area. Okay, well, is that illegal? Is that cheating? Because I mean, even though that's true, man, fucking exploding gloves and like a championship top pound for pound fighter. Holy shit. Oh, I forget. I thought you could. Is it just my channel or that I don't give you guys wrenches? Is that what it is? Then this guy Madrimov was making Bud so uncomfortable. That's why he fell in the early round. Yeah. He was gunshot. He was like, he was afraid of what was coming back. That's definitely cheating. Okay. Well, nobody seems to blink an eye. I'm like, Bud is freaking losing. He ain't controlling anything, and Bud just stays schooling now. Yeah. They call it a chess match and this and that. To me, it I mean, he was lucky he got a win. You know what I'm saying? But all right, fellas, we've been cooking. It's it'll almost be 1 o'clock. We're going strong. Late night stream. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, man. Just wanted to, talk about the bullshit that I was talking about. Yeah, Porter was shit. Man, I'm gonna have to clip all this shit, man. Matone, that link is a video where Tank says he feels like he's being forced the Lomachenko fight. Oh, that would be cool, man. This is crazy. I had a 7-5 Madrimov or a draw. Yeah, I thought Madrimov won, but he wasn't gonna get it. We already know Turkey Sugar Daddy was gonna help him out. Look, man, it is what it is. We might get the fight, but Canelo Alvarez gets nothing. He gets nothing out of it. And then now with him taking a break, they bring Tank Davis to tell us that he's the face of boxing. But he's a chump. Chump versus champ, man. But thank you for joining. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's late. Go eat some ice cream, maybe drink some more beer. Enjoy your what is it? Saturday night? Well, it's Friday night, Saturday night. Yeah, Tank fake beefing with Roach. Oh yeah, I seen that. It's more like rap. Excuse me, fake rap beef, right? You know how they start fake rap beef, right? East Coast, West Coast, man. West Side. Man. Yeah, man. But it's fun, man. It's always fun, man. That's all. I like talking to these people with their the Bud Beats Canelo crowd. I love it, man. I like it. It's the best sport in the world, and it's just crazy. It's crazy to see how people really have their agenda. I want to ask you guys, do you guys think I have an agenda? I think I'm pretty straightforward, that I am pro certain things, but I don't think I push an agenda. I really try to look at every angle, every side, and I formulate my opinion based on that. And I don't pick who's going to win a fight based on my opinion or judgment. I tell you who I want to win. I didn't think Ryan would beat Haney, but I wanted him to win, so I was going for him. Yeah, definitely pro-Mexican. I resent that, because I'm definitely not. I am, but then when it comes to fights, I don't necessarily pick them just because based on their, I'll tell you who I think is going to win and who I want to win. I will actually break down the fights, and I'll tell you who's good and who's not. I give those guys the credit, but they don't fight. They don't fight nobody. They don't fight each other. So how can I give them the credit they deserve? Like J.A., you can't tell me that Bud Crawford would have beat Gennady Golovkin. You just can't. It's not based on race. It's just based on logical. Gennady Golovkin would have punched a hole in Terrence Crawford's head. They think Terrence Crawford can beat, and Billy Pacheco, they think he can beat fucking Munguia, Berlanga. They think he's Super Bud. He went okay then. Zepeda Shakira. Obviously, yes. I want Zepeda to win, but I think it's gonna be tough. So, there's no agenda, there's no positive spin. I'm gonna give you what I think, what I want, and ultimately what would be good. Zepeda beating Shakira would be good for boxing, because Zepeda's gonna fight. He's gonna fight everybody. There are delusional. Yes. But can you blame him? And what are they delusional about? There's really no delusions. He's pound for pound the best. He's pound for pound one of the best, undisputed. Maybe gonna be 2 times. Look, man, you can't take away the accomplishments. Tank fans are delusional because they think he's really top 5 pound for pound. Like I always said, Canelo Alvarez fans have reason to be delusional, and they support him. People don't even support Tank Davis like that. So, man, but this is what I like though. You won't get this anywhere else, especially some of the places people mention. They won't allow it. They won't allow it, man. You won't get that real boxing talk with someone telling you exactly where they're leaning with their side. You know, very rarely. I'm a fan too. I'm a fan. I'm kind of biased. Yeah. But I'm not gonna sit here and say Zepeda kicks his ass through and through. Shit, man. I gotta keep it 100, man. It's a 50-50 fight. It's 50-50 fight. Zepeda Shakir is 50-50 fight, man. Shit, man. I might lean Shakir. I don't know. He's got a tough fight against Farmer, slick man. But see, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm gonna always keep it 1,000 when it comes to boxing. You know, if Crawford faced Ortiz, that's a good example, J.A. You say I'm pro-Mexican and people, yeah, you're not the only one. I'm not ignorant. But when it comes to Crawford Ortiz, I would favor Crawford, probably pick Crawford to beat Ortiz, but I want Ortiz, and I think he beats Crawford. Does that make sense? Am I playing both sides, or does that make sense to you guys? How did I break it down? Okay. I favor Crawford. If I had to pick betting my money, I would have to bet Terrence Crawford over Virgil Ortiz. So where's my pro-Mexican card? Do I lose my Mexican card? But then it's not just about, analytical. I got my emotion, my heart. I want Virgil Ortiz to win. And I think he can kick the shit out of Terrence Crawford. I think Virgil Ortiz is the type of fighter and power puncher that would beat the shit out of Terrence Crawford. Does that help you, J.A.? Does that help you understand? Is that wrong? What do you guys think? What is my pro-Mexican fans, what does the pro-Mexican people think? How do you feel about Virgil Ortiz versus Terrence Crawford? Because Turkey wanted that fight. Terrence Crawford didn't want it. That's probably my 2025 fight of the fight that I want the most. But see, Terrence Crawford would rather fight this guy. He would. Terrence Crawford would rather fight Fundora. He's easier pickings. He doesn't want to fight Virgil. Virgil is more of a threat than Fundora. Don't get it twisted, homies. And Fundora's Mexican. Royal Ricardo. Ortiz Styles a night. We know this. See, J.A. I like guys like J.A. because he's reasonable. He'll listen. He fucks with me. He listens. He may not like a lot of things. He's some pro-Mexican. But if that was true, then Fundora, he beats the shit out of Crawford. But you know what's crazy? A lot of people are picking Fundora to beat Terrence Crawford. A lot of people don't think that's going to be an easy fight. Whereas before, if he's super buddy, walks on water, then he should just go beat the shit out of Fundora. John Doe, that would be a good fight. I got Ortiz winning. J.A. Virgil and Crawford both had life and death fights against no names. I don't really... What? Dude, that's a hell... I'm telling you. Crawford Ortiz is a fight for the ages, bro. I'm telling you. But that would probably be Bud's last fight. It'll be a brutal fight. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, who knows? Maybe if he's really super Bud, then he should just obliterate Virgil. He should sleep Virgil. But man, what if Frank just tuned in? Damn, brother, why are you tuning in so late? We're damn near going on 2 hours right now. Nah, I'm just playing. Salute, brother. Fundora Crawford. My Mexican card is revoked because I would say, Terrence Crawford probably wins. I think he beats Fundora, but more and more, that's a tough fight. That's a hell of a tough fight, man. Now, maybe had he looked sensational against Madrimov, now I know what you're going to say. What's the different fights? It's a chess match. Madrimov style's awkward. No. See, you don't get to use that. He can't be super Bud in one fight and then you give him that pass. No. If you're super Bud, then you got to do it all the time. That's what being number one pound for pound. Mars, salute. The Joker movie with Lady Gaga. Did Lady Gaga, we see any lady titties? Did we get to see Gaga? She's kind of freaky looking now. She used to be hot. But salute, yeah. The first one was good. The Joker movie. Was it good? I might tune in. Might go see it this weekend. But I don't like seeing them open a weekend. You know, too many knuckleheads, man. You know. But definitely, man. Definitely looks like a good movie, especially with Lady Gaga. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like being pro-Mexican, that's insulting. That's insulting because it makes it seem like I'm just going for every Mexican fighter or Latino fighter against a black fighter just for fuck's sake's reason. Like, damn, you wouldn't listen because you'd be like, man, this guy's super fucking biased. Like, he's a joker. Ironic, right? And that's how I feel listening to a lot of these guys. Go, man, this guy's a joker, man. This guy's a joker telling me that Canelo's ducking Crawford. Like, you're a joker. How can anybody take you serious? You can't take someone serious who says that. I mean, Bud Crawford should be jumping at to fight Fundora, but he's taking his time. He asked for an extension, and he's the challenger. So, you know, Fundora, man. Fundora impressed a lot of people, right? Fighting Tim Tszyu. Look, that's what I've said, man. Fuck, you know, if you're a Bud Crawford fan or you're a fan of boxing, Bud Crawford has really good fights with Fundora, Virgil Ortiz, Tim Tszyu, Machmov, Bokachuk. Shit, man. There's a lot of good fights. So really chasing Canelo's like just chasing a payday. But nah, I'm looking at it from a boxing perspective. You know, Bud Crawford, Fundora is a Mexican fighter. Proved himself against Tim Tszyu. Some people say he got lucky, but shit, more and more now, seeing how Bud looked against Madrimov, I think it's you're talking about a 6'5" guy with razor blades as elbows. Bud could very well lose that fight. Now I know people are gonna call him the favorite, but he's really, in reality, if he's Super Bud, he should exterminate Fundora. Like, we're talking about a guy who went life and death with Eric Lubin and then got knocked out by Mendoza, who Tim Tszyu beat pretty handily. Who Bokachuk, I think, that beat the shit out of Mendoza. So, you know, Fundora, man, he showed that he's worth something. You know, people were writing him off, but he showed he's worth something. But yeah, man, damn, we've been going 2 hours strong, almost 2 hours. I think that's enough cooking boxing. Just wanted to touch on that, man. Had an interesting conversation. But Crawford, Canelo, what do you guys think? You know, is that the fight you really want to see? Does is that better than Mbili? Is that the best fight in boxing? I mean, does the guy have a chance? That's the Bud Canelo starter pack. And now, you know, they're saying Sting Davis is the face of boxing. Yeah, man. Whew. Lot going on, man. 2025 is going to be very, very interesting. That's all I got to say. So with that, we're going to wrap it up and get out of here, man. Thank you for tuning in. Been a fun Saturday night. Hopefully maybe we can do this more often. Really don't go this late at this time, but look like it was pretty good. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you on the next
one. You gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Look, whenever a man texts me and says, I hope you have a good day, I hope you have a good week, I hope that you shut the fuck up.
Hey, baby. You got girlfriend? Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny. Me love you.